Crochet napkin rings. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to make these crochet holiday napkin rings. We have the fall leaves and the winter snowflakes. I got the pattern from my Auntie M, my Grammy's sister. Hi, Auntie M. It's from the 1980s, and it's super easy. I would say beginner friendly if you know like the basic stitches, like chains, slip stitch, single crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, and treble crochet. I think that's it, but yeah. Not the best at folding the napkins, but I can show you how to make these. So let's get started. Here are all the materials you'll need. The pattern says to use a worsted 2-ply yarn, but it's from 1981, so I don't think it means like worsted weight today, because that's a big chunky yarn. I think they say to use like a lace. I did not. I decided to size down to a DK weight yarn just because I already had the colors and I hate working with really small yarn. I'm not good at it yet. I also sized down my hook, 3.5mm hook, not your hooks, Auntie M. Sorry, I didn't bring them this time. I usually love them. By sizing down, I think it made the leaves a little bit smaller. And then this I used for doing the branches because it's a little bit easier with a bigger hook. Now the branches are made with pipe cleaners. And you just crochet around the pipe cleaners. It says to use brown and white. It's probably the best idea because they kind of like show. I use an iridescent pipe cleaner, like a little sparkly one on these. I think it'd be cool if it was like all over the yarn too, but I didn't have yarn like that, so. You need basics like a needle for the loose ends and scissors to cut your yarn. But I also needed big girl scissors because the pipe cleaners, to cut the pipe cleaners, when I first started making these, I thought it was a good idea to like cut them in half and make them 6 inches. This one is 6 inches, too short, wouldn't recommend that. I've also tried it 12 inches, but I think the good length to cut it down to is 10 inches. I guess you can eyeball that, or you also need a ruler. I also use a stitch marker, at least for the fall leaves. It's just kind of helpful in seeing where your first and last stitch is, but not fully necessary. And that's everything I need, just simple supplies. Let me show you how to make it. I'm gonna start by showing you how I make the fall leaves. There are 6 of them, 2 of each color, so I need to make 1 more gold one. Start with a slip knot. And then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to be working a slip stitch into that very first chain that we made. And that makes a little circle. Now we're gonna be working out of the center of the circle for the first round. Make sure you actually go through the center of the 4 chains and not just like through one that's stretched out like that one right there. But the center should be somewhere around here, kind of feel around. There we go. You'll see I'm in the center of the 4 chains. After the first stitch, it's easier to see. Our first stitch is a single crochet through the center of the ring. And I'm actually gonna take a pin and mark that first stitch just so it's easier to see when we come back around. So the rest of the stitches for this round are gonna go straight through that circle. So next is a half double crochet. Then 2 double crochets. 1, 2, next is 5 treble crochets, or triple, whatever you want to call them. And I always lose count here. 1, but if you lose count, it's okay. You can kind of just go back and count the stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, after the 5, we're gonna start working backwards to what we just did. So 2 double crochets. 1, 2, 1/2 double crochet, and then ending on a single crochet. And again, everything through that circle, you can really see how pronounced it is now. All right, I am actually gonna also mark this last stitch we made just so we can see it when we come back around again. I just undid that, but I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Next, we're gonna chain 2, 1, 2, and we're gonna work a single crochet into that first stitch we made, our first single crochet. Sometimes it gets like tucked in, so that's why I think it's kind of helpful having a pin to make sure you're working the right one. Or if you're not positive, just go back and count. All right, so we have our 2 chains. Now we're gonna work a single crochet into that first stitch. Then chain 2 again, and we're just gonna repeat that pattern all the way around. So another single crochet. Chain 2, single crochet. Chain 2, single crochet into the next stitch. I imagine when I'm editing this later, I'll speed it up. All right, we're at the last stitch. I really just shoved that pin in there. But I like to put the pins there because sometimes it's hard to see where the last one should be. Oh no, sorry. It's okay, we don't need to be perfectionists. So yeah, it's kind of hard to tell where to go. So I just did 1 single crochet. Now I'm gonna chain 2. And into that, you can see where it kind of comes up there. And then there's the chain 2 after it. I always make my beginning and ending stitches so small, and I always regret it. I don't mean to. Okay, it's fine. And there we go. Let's spin it around. I like to do a slip stitch into like the last chain too, to really just like tie it off and snip, pull it through. All right, got my needle, almost knocked over the full camera. Yeah, so I just take a needle and kind of like weave it through, and then kind of like bring it up to, I'm not very good at this, but like just bring it up to the other string, and then I'm gonna like tie them together. And then I probably should like weave them through, but I just kind of cut them. There we go. Now we have our 6 leaves, except this one's a little bit bigger, but you know, it's very hard to film and crochet at the same time, so it doesn't matter. I'm just happy that it's done. Next, we'll attach these leaves to the branches. The branches are my least favorite part. There'll be 3 branches, and each branch has 2 leaves of the same color. There'll be yarn wrapped around a pipe cleaner. So I got my pipe cleaner and I decided to cut it down to 10 inches. I have to use my big girl scissors. The little shears don't work with the pipe cleaners. Now, on the original instructions, it says to put these leaves on first and then crochet all the way around. But on the next one, the winter one, it says crochet first and then put the leaves on, and I think that is just so much easier. So we're gonna do that. But I thought I should call that out. It says save about like a 1/2 inch for the leaf, but I'm just gonna do like about 1 inch, a little bit extra. So I like to bend it, so when I'm doing the crochet, I kind of know where to go and stop. 1 inch is probably generous. Let's see, does that look? To make the leaves, I used a 3.5 millimeter hook. This is my big one, don't just ignore it. So I'm using 5 millimeter to do the branch. Oh yeah, I'm starting with the slip knot. And this is just like really wonky. I'm not good at it. I also don't know if this is the right way to do it. This is just the way I decided to do it and it felt right. But, so we're gonna put our pipe cleaner over the yarn. So you're gonna slip stitch into that first, I don't know, you just slip stitch so you're hooked around the pipe cleaner. And then you're gonna wanna hold this loose end down just so you can kind of cover it too, and you don't have to deal with it later. We're gonna do single crochets down the entire pipe cleaner. To do that, we'll take our hook, go under the pipe cleaner, yarn over, pull it back, yarn over through the 2 loops. So just a single crochet around the pipe cleaner. The looser you do it, the easier it is to, see, it's twisty, it's annoying. The looser you do it, the easier it is to kind of like adjust later on. And really try to stack the stitches on top of each other. Oh my gosh, this drives me nuts. Because you don't want like the fur of the pipe cleaner popping through. It's inevitable for me. It happens every time, so. But it doesn't really matter that much because don't really see this part, it's under the napkin. So yeah, just keep going all the way down, and I'm gonna pause the camera so I can save its battery. Okay, I'll see you at the bottom. I am at the end of the bend with my stick and my giant crochet stitches. I'll just do a couple more to really bring me around. And then to end it off, I just do a slip stitch around, just like how we started. Cut the yarn and pull it through. So I take the end and I'm just gonna take the needle and just take that loose end and just like bring it down a little bit as far as you want. There, that's good. Probably could have gone farther, but it doesn't matter. And snip that. Now we need to attach our leaves. This is the front side of it. I'm gonna face it down. And we're gonna poke the pipe cleaner through that little hole. So the front is facing out at the end. And bring the pipe cleaner down, and then I like to fold it over a second time to like really hold it in tight. Here's my big leaf. So turn it face down, pipe cleaner through the little hole. So yeah, 1 inch is definitely more than enough. So fold it down and then fold it down one more time. Kind of look like peacocks. And then do it to the other colors too. Make sure they match each. Well, you don't have to match them. It'd be kind of cool too if you made them like just all 3 brown. Oh, here comes the train. If you made all 3 just brown, like actual branches. Now we have our 3 branches and leaves. This one's all twisty. All right, next we take our 3 branches and we're just gonna braid them together like hair. So, great. Now they're all attached. and we'll fold it up into a little ring, and we can put the napkin through there. You can kind of adjust them however you want. I should show you, I should put them around the actual napkin, but yeah, this is our little fall napkin holder. Okay, made some room for the napkin, pre-folded it. Not very good at it. There's a bunch of YouTube tutorials that you can look up on how to do it, but I'm probably no help. So we're gonna take our napkin ring and then just kind of like twist it around. You don't have to fold your napkin like this. I just thought it was kind of fun. Yeah, so just kind of fold it around, and then you can play with the leaves to kind of land wherever you want, and then adjust your napkin. I feel like I could play with this forever. I need to stop. Okay, it's cute. There you go, you have your little fall table setting. Now I'm gonna show you how to make the winter snowflake ones. I'm gonna show you how to make the actual snowflakes, but the chain is, or the branch, I guess, whatever you wanna call it, the ring, is just the same thing as before, except just use white yarn. Speaking of white yarn, I feel like white is kind of hard to see on video. I might be totally wrong about that, but I am going to make the snowflake with a big chunky purple yarn. I wanted to do blue, but I didn't have blue, so we're going with purple. We're gonna start the snowflakes just like the fall leaves, so a slip knot, and then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again, work a slip stitch into that first chain we made to make a circle. And we're gonna be working out of the center of the circle once again, except this time we're going to be doing 10 half double crochets into the center. So yarn over, and then find that center, make sure I don't go to that stretched out chain, pull through, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through. So that's 1, and just keep doing it until you get 10. So 2, there, we have 10. If you're ever not sure, you can go back and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 10th one is usually low, kind of hiding. You can use a stitch marker or just count back like I did to find it. But next we're gonna slip stitch into the first stitch to close the round. So now we have a little circle to work out of. Our next round starts with chaining 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have this long chain, and we are going to connect it by doing a
single crochet
into the next stitch. So here's our chain coming out, and then we're gonna do 1 single crochet into the next stitch. That creates this like little loop. You do this all the way around. I'll show you one more time. 1, 2, 10. We have our chain 10, and then do 1 single crochet into that next stitch. All right, I'm gonna stop the camera, but just keep doing that all the way around. All right, I've gone all the way around. You should have 10 loops, so I'm about to make my 10th one. This last spot you go into is where the chain is coming out from, so it's kind of easy to miss. If you make 9, no big deal. I think I did that on one of mine. There we go. We have the start of our little star. Snowflake. The next part is kind of tricky. I'm gonna show you 2 ways. The first is how I interpret it from the pattern. So we're gonna be working out of these loops, like through the loops. But before we do that, we're gonna twist them. So literally just take it, let me show you. You're just gonna take it and twist it. And we are gonna be working through the top of that loop. So I'm gonna show you one more time. So take it, hold the loop, twist it. Now the back of the loop is facing the front, and you can see the bottom chains are kind of crossed over. And we're going to work a slip stitch. Oop. Right into that. After our slip stitch, we'll do a single crochet through the loop, a half double crochet, a double crochet, and then come back down with a half double crochet and a single crochet. We're going to repeat this all the way around. I'll show you one more time. Turn the loop, slip stitch through the loop, single crochet, half double crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet. Okay, I lied. I'm gonna actually show you one more time. That is how the pattern said to do it, but I'm pretty sure if you want to, instead of twisting the loop and like we've been going through it this way, just work through it backwards. So from the bottom of the loop, hopefully I'm not confusing you, showing you two ways. Once again, from the bottom of the loop, slip stitch. And when you do that, it kind of like twists it on its own. So I think it does the twisting without having to manually twist it. Whatever way you find easier, I think it's really the same. And then just do the same pattern. Single, half double, double, half double, single, and then slip stitch into the next one. I'm gonna pause the camera, but I will see you once we finish the rest of these. So I've worked all the way around, and you'll notice right here, there is a gap. I just kind of like slip stitch it into the side to connect it. There you go. It's our lovely, it kind of looks like a flower, but I think like the crisscrossing, like the turning detail really makes it look like a snowflake, and probably even more if it was white. So that's it. I'm gonna cut the string or the yarn, pull it through. Where's that other one? And then just kind of do what I did before. Oh, this is gonna be harder. Okay, thread the yarn, and then just kind of, I don't do this right, I just hate doing it, so just kind of wing it. So just bring it up to the other one. And then I kind of tie them together, double knot it, and then really pull the second knot tight. I'm gonna even do a third, why not? Wow, 3 knots. And then trim, this is probably such a bad habit, the yarn, but whatever. Have it face down and put the pipe cleaner through. Now this time you can't really like wrap it fully around, but it stays if you kind of just like push it, bend it. So, and then kind of squeeze it in on both sides. Well, maybe you could tuck it in there. It really is a little flower. But yeah, that's how you make these cute little snowflakes. I'm not gonna take this off and put it back on just because it's so difficult. Again, because I made this 6 inches and it should be longer, so it's like more flexibility. It doesn't have to be 10 though. I feel like this would be fine even just like, gosh, maybe 7, but probably 8 inches. This one's also kind of easier to adjust because, I don't know, maybe because they're all white, but I think it just sits nicely. But yeah, here's the final product. I like the color it adds. I feel like this one would be nice with like a blue napkin too, or just like keep it all white, winter holiday decor. All right, and that's how you make crochet napkin rings. Cute little handmade holiday table decor. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.